Nissa versus Najeela. Najeela? However you say it. Not a fast hand, which is I think what we need against Najeela. That is better. Miri's Guile is nice. Turn 1 Soul Ring into Kodama's Reach or Nissa. Yeah, I think we'll keep that and hope that we don't get punished with a turn 1 destruction of, and we'll scry that onto the top, with a turn 1 destruction of the Soul Ring from our opponent. And we have a stop on our upkeep from the last game, we'll knock that off. And Forest into Soul Ring. And it won't be the end of the world if they did kill the Soul Ring, because we do have another Forest, but we would be hoping to get into another Forest after that, which would be easier with the Miri's Guile. So even if they do kill the Soul Ring, it's not the end of the world. Just have to hope our opponent doesn't have fast mana of their own, to be honest. Wild Nicotl is not something that we want to see, especially seeing as how we would rather not be under pressure in this game, but I don't think that was ever going to happen in a deck like this. We'll get Nissa out and fix our land drop for the next turn, and then get out the Miri's Guile, sort out what we want to draw next turn. So this is a Nissa Vastwood Seer deck. It is basically ramp and then play out big spells. It's green good stuff. The decks are on the Tapped Out website. Link is in the description if anyone's interested in those. I imagine our opponent will. Our opponent does not want to swing in. That surprises me. Although the good thing about Nissa is when she dies, you can replay her because you can usually replay her because she's already paid for half her command attacks when she comes in. So that's a good thing about Nissa Vastwood Seer. Get the Miri's Guile trigger that we're always going to say yes and yield to. And we already have a land. Manglehorn, do we? I think we'll be punished if we don't go for the Manglehorn here, so I think we'll go Sakura Tribelder. No, that's a good blocker though. I think we'll go Sakura Tribelder, Forest, Manglehorn. I'd like to have the Manglehorn in hand just in case our opponent gets into Sword of Feast and Famine, which goes infinite with Najeela. Najeela is a warrior and she can pay Wooburg and tap all attacking creatures and then swing in again. She can do that infinitely as long as she has Wooburg lands and Sword of Feast and Famine, assuming that she gets through at all. I don't care about the Sakura Tribelder and the land on top. I think we'll just go for Kodama's Reach here. And then probably play into a Scavenging Ooze. Our opponent might be seeing if they want to counter this. No, it's just taking a long time for our deck to load up, seemingly. And we are well on our way to flipping Nissa. Need another 3 lands in order to do that. I'm not going to swing in, just I'm perfectly happy to sit back and let our opponent not do a right lot. Yeah, so Najeela is a legendary human warrior, 3/2 for 3. Whenever a warrior attacks, you may have its controller create a 1/1 white warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. Wooburg, untap all attacking creatures. They gain trample, lifelink, and haste until the end of the turn, and after this phase there's an additional combat phase. Activate this ability only during combat. So it's actually a really good political multiplayer card as well, especially if your opponents are playing warriors of their own. That's a pretty niche area of Commander, I think, where multiple people in one game are going to be playing warrior creatures, but it is noteworthy that you can do that. Get a little bit political. And Wildly Cattle is up to its full 3 power and 3 toughness, so it is going to swing in. And our opponent is going to get a free warrior token out of the deal, which we can chump block. It's no problem. But we will take the 3 damage. And the Mirror's Guile is really going to help us here because we need to get into something like a Lignify or a Song of the Dryads. Green Sun Zenith, does that help us? Well, Regal Force doesn't. Emerald Medallion I don't care too much for currently. I think we'll dump all our mana into... We could get a Prime Time and maybe go for something off of that. Probably been playing so many decks on this channel you forget. In fact, I'm going to cheat and go for the deck list here. Where are we? Nissa, where are you? Yeah, I don't think we have the Dark Depths combo in here. We have Maze of Ith, but that's largely irrelevant, I think. We could go for something like a Steel Hellkite or a Duplicant. I think that's what we do here, to be honest. I think we go into a Duplicant, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And, oh no, it's a green creature, isn't it? Well, we'll do it anyway. And see what we can get here. Could get Soul Harvest, don't really care about that. I think Primeval Titan's the best thing, to be honest. Woodland Bellower searches out Acclamation Sage usually, but our opponent doesn't have any. Yeah, I think we just go for that. And the Maze of Ith actually helps our opponent here. By removing it from combat, it allows it to swing in again. Actually, no, it doesn't, because there won't be an additional combat phase. Scratch that. I don't know if there's anything here that really helps us. Blighted Woodland Boseiju. We'll go for a Mosswort Bridge. And a Wasteland, I think. Just to try and attempt to keep our opponent off of the mana that they need. And a Song of the Dryads is excellent. How much? We need 10 power on the field. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which we can actually have next turn. Yeah, I think we want this Song of the Dryads underneath that. It does entail us keeping our creatures in play. Although, that might have been a mistake. I could have gotten I was so eager to draw into a card there. We could have got out a 4/4 token. Anyway, we'll pass turn to our opponent. Our opponent's been very patient with us here. What we could do is start trying to buff the Scavenging Ooze, maybe block the Wildly Cattle with the Primeval Titan. We'll see what our opponent does anyway. They may well swing full into Nissa. And what we want to do is keep her on at least 2 loyalty to try and get that 4/4 green elemental out next turn. Because then we'll have a total of 10 power with the Prime Time and the 4/4 token. And we'll be able to Mosswort Bridge. Because we'll have creatures with total power of 10 or greater into Song of the Dryads on our opponent's commander. And what is this? Whenever a creature you control attacks, put a charge counter on it, removal charge counters, add 1 mana of any color. Yeah, okay. So that's just helping our opponent get into Wooburg there. I wonder if the tokens coming in triggers the Druid's Repository. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it enters already attacking, so I don't think that will trigger it. I think the creature has to be in play, and then it has to attack. I suppose we'll soon find out. Okay, both going in at Nissa. My opponent will get 2 warrior tokens here. Yeah, and the Druid's Repository is not triggering there, so the creatures already have to be in play. And where are these? Yeah, we can always yield to that. Okay, so really trying to get Nissa out of play here. I wonder what we could do is Tainted Pact. Exile top card of your library. You may put that card into your hand unless it's the same name as any. Yeah, that's not good. I do wonder what our opponent. I'm not completely clued up on Najeela decks yet. I'm just going to try and remember exactly what our opponent does here. I imagine there's lots of different ways to build the deck, but I only know of a few combos and things like that. So I'm not sure what our opponent is going to go for here. Going for specific cards here, I think. But yeah, anyway, what our plan is, we could always swing in, let this all go through to kill Nissa, and then swing in with the Primeval Titan after we've replayed Nissa, and flip her, get her to flip over after we've played the land, get the, the token, the 4/4 token into play, and then we can activate the Mosswort Bridge, and scratch that. Our opponent was going for a Swords to Plowshares. That hurts, to be honest. We'll just have to hope that we draw into something big next turn. We could always try and buff up the Bane of Progress. What will that be? That'll be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we could do it that way. We just want to keep Najeela out of this game, to be honest. Najeela out of this game. Alright, I think we'll go to exile our opponent's Tainted Pact, just so they can't do anything with that again. My opponent will pass the turn to us. Okay, well we've got Green Sun Zenith again. So we could go for 1. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Go for a 7-drop. To be honest, I think we just want the Green Sun Zenith, even if we don't cast it this turn. And then we can go for... So that's Bane of Progress into a... Yeah, we don't have enough to recast Nissa, unfortunately. So I think we just dump our hand into... We want to keep our opponents off Wooburg, which they will have next turn, and they'll be able to... I think they'll be comboing off with the Druid's Repository there, so I think we have to get something like Woodfall Primus. But I can't remember how much that costs. 5, 6, 7, 8. So we are 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we can't go for the Mosswort Bridge, unfortunately, but we do have to go for that. Because our opponent can go infinite on us next turn, I think. I'm not completely clued up on this deck yet, like I say, but pretty sure I don't want our opponent to have Wooburg yet. Or at all, to be honest. We can take a little bit more damage, but we don't want our opponent going infinite at any point during this game, and we have to be very wary of that. We have 8 power on the field now, so if we play out Nissa next turn, we can get the Mosswort Bridge off. Our opponent's swinging in to get some tokens, and they don't have Wooburg, which is excellent. I'm just going to... Yeah, I can block both of them. It doesn't matter if I have loose Scavenging Ooze, I don't think. Although our opponent... Yeah, our opponent's not board wiping. I don't see why they would anyway, to be honest there. Do we need Gaia's Cradle or Exploration? I think we just go for the Green Warden here. I don't think Gaia's Cradle does too much for us, and being able to get a Woodfall Primus out again later on in the game I think would be very useful to us. We can go for Nissa here and hope that our opponent doesn't have the counter. Okay, so we can flip Nissa because she feeds herself a forest, of which we have plenty left in our library. Our opponent's paying costs. Okay, 3 damage to a target creature. We can't 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but what we can do, while she's still a creature, is Mosswort Bridge onto the Najeela and hope that our opponent doesn't manage to kill it in response. Ironically, this might... Ooh, Pact of Negation. Okay, so that time warps our opponent next turn. Actually, no, I think we win there. We can just have our opponent on 4 mana at the beginning of next turn, and I think that does it, yeah. Pact of Negation is 0 to cast, but your opponent has to pay 5 mana at the beginning of the upkeep, and thanks to our Wasteland that we fetched out with the Primeval Titan, we put our opponent on 4 mana for the beginning of next turn. So I think we did well there. Najeela can come out of nowhere in my experience, and you have to be very careful and you have to concentrate. So whether my commentary was any good, whether it's ever any good, I don't know, but whether it was particularly poor in this game, I don't know, because I was really concentrating. But hopefully you enjoyed the game. My name is tribalkai for the EDH channel. Thank you very much for watching and for your continued support. Please continue to support the channel, it's very much appreciated, it hasn't gone unnoticed. Thank you all again, and please join me for the next one. Thank you.